Hello everyone, this is Dragon Veils. Welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are doing well. So once again, I'm going to go over a Hazbin Hotel video of top 10 most beloved Hazbin Hotel characters. I'm just basing it off of why these characters are so lovable and what makes them lovable over time. Bear in mind that these are just my opinions alone, as well as the fact that there can be some spoilers in this. So be warned, and without further ado, let's begin. So I'm sure some of you are surprised I would put Sarah on this list as a beloved character in Hazbin Hotel, because I know she's not an immediate fan favorite, especially what had happened in Season 1. But to their credit, I feel like I put her in number 10 because I could imagine her being slowly liked by the fandom, especially for several reasons. At the very beginning of the series, one of the reasons she wasn't well liked is because of the fact that she allowed the exterminations to happen in the first place, like practically greenlit Adam's idea and let him do whatever he want. But man, did those consequences come back to bite her in the butt, especially when Sir Pentious finally came back to heaven, despite of how she said in the trailer that there was no possible evidence that a soul in hell could be redeemed. But now, facing the consequences of her actions and seeing that reality, she slowly begins to realize of how wrong she was about allowing the exterminations to happen, how the souls in hell could have had a chance to change for the better. It would have been a very difficult one, but this was a huge pill for her to swallow, and seeing her unravel with the guilt and the shame that had come with her actions really hits hard, especially when it comes to Sarah's confession. And what makes her really enjoyable is how she clicks with Sir Pentious, finally coming to an understanding that she's fearful like they are. She knows what it's like to be afraid and having your decisions based on that fear alone. And Sir Pentious has been the only one who actually understands those feelings. And because of having someone connecting with her, she's able to make more rational decisions and be more careful over time. Even though she's number 10, I do feel like she might rock down further on the list in future seasons to come.
My mission's incomplete.
Now, it's no surprise that Lute is also another beloved villain, and an underrated one in Hazbin Hotel. Understandably so, because she has the ruthlessness and the capability of handling things her own way. She was not even thrilled at the idea of Sir Pentious of being in heaven. And as we see her spiraling throughout Season 2, it definitely shows that she's ready to go off like the 4th of July, and actually has us fearing the worst, which is probably why we like about Lute in general. She's one of the few people that's unpredictable, but yet at the same time, someone who can be looked out for. But I put her further up on this just because of her treatment to Charlie, her being Adam's lapdog, and also because she left Vaggie for dead. Once again, our favorite TV head demon has been put into another list for Hazbin Hotel, and it's understandable why. Not only is he just simply good looking, but he's very charismatic and highly capable as a villain. He's very smart and knows how to step one head of a group and knows how to calculate stuff. Well, when Alistair's not in the picture, sometimes a lot of people can get a kick out of his one-sided love for Alistair in general, and while there isn't a good idea as to why that obsession is the case, it doesn't change the fact that their interaction is a pretty sad one. Viv wasn't kidding when she said it's complicated and sad. And basically towards the end of Season 2, it is understandable why he's kept high up on this list. It's mostly because of his treatment towards Angel that prevents him from being well liked by fans. Velvet is definitely the backbone of Aviz. Despite her small size, she is bold and sassy. Her song Respectless is no joke.
Even in season 2, she showed she has great prowess in terms of fighting, even can go toe to toe with Alistair when given the chance. And she definitely knows of how to mess up with people's minds any way she likes. Not full on manipulator like Vox is, but she gets there from time to time. And another thing that was very interesting about her is that she does care about her friends. She supports Fox in his crusade of trying to reform Hell in his own twisted image, as well as being there for Valentino when he's down in the dumps. So there is some few things to like about Velvet in terms of her character. She's bold, she's fierce, and insanely loyal to the people she cares about. And she's not afraid to throw down with anyone, even if that said opponent is tougher than she is. It's of no surprise that Alistair is on this list, mainly because of the fact that he was a mystery the moment he was introduced in the pilot. However, the love for him kind of diminished a bit in season 2, mostly for two things. One, how he treated Fox, and two, we kind of learn a little bit about his secret relationship with Rosie, and that Rosie was the one who gave him the powers in the first place. But there are still some things to like about him, namely of how crafty and unpredictable he can be. Even when he was a human, he was not afraid of the concept of eternal punishment. He just basically took it and made a gamble with the said evil that he summoned. He also still creates some mystery of why he was gone for 7 whole years. And then, when it comes to his fighting style, he definitely shows he is not a pushover. He will take on anyone, even Adam, to just prove that he is still one of the toughest fighters in all of Hell. And by season 3, this will be a very interesting concept of where direction his character's gonna go and how much people are gonna love him. Right now in season 2, he's still got a good amount of love, especially when he was able to outfox Fox in season 2.
Maggie is the ever loyal girlfriend to Charlie, trying to do everything she can to make Charlie's dream a reality. And she does become a very good girlfriend. It's not like she has her own character that we can't fail to mention. Not only is she just loyal, but she also has a sense of moral code where she tries to take the high road and separates herself from Adam whenever possible. She was the only one who actually recognized just how messed up The Exorcist was, as well as why she backed away from the extermination. While we don't fully understand the backstory yet, it is pretty clear that life as an exorcist was a lot worse than we originally thought when we got to season 2, and that her reason to break things off with Adam might be more valid than we think it is. And I have a horrible feeling that it could be some stuff that even Sarah doesn't even know about. Makes you. Aside from Vaggie, Husk strikes me as a voice of reason from time to time. When he started the series, he became this drunk and depressed former overlord who wants nothing more than to just back away from a crowd that he wants nothing to do with. But when Angel comes into the picture, he steps up his game and tries to protect him any way possible, even being the emotional support that Angel desperately needs. He's someone who doesn't filter anything or sugarcoat anything. He gets straight to the point and has a keen eye observing everyone's problems, which in a lot of ways makes him a good therapist despite of how he thinks he isn't very good at it. He knows what bothers the main cast. He knows what needs to be done in order for them to improve, even if he doesn't exactly say it out loud. And as the series progresses, he becomes someone who cares more about everyone, even sticks up for Angel when Vox got very snarky. He is willing to break Valentino in half when it came to saving Angel and, of course, the hotel. While he doesn't fully believe in the concept of redemption until he was learned about it by Serpentius, it definitely feels like he has an enormous faith that things can get better. It may be difficult, but he knows that eventually things will slowly get better if people just try. And he's not exactly someone who values lying above all. True, he was a gambler, but he wasn't someone who had to lie and sneak his way out of everything. Plus, Love in the Bile does highlight that there is something sad about his character, namely that he might have had relationship issues.
She's halfway down the street. She's dead.
So, with Charlie, she hasn't received much love in season 2, but there's no denying there are some things that can be loved about her in the fandom. Usually about her cheeriness, her willing to try to help others whenever possible. I mean, yeah, she still has her issues, namely her parental issues, but at the same time, despite that, she tries her best and she has a struggle that is a little relatable, but at the same time, you feel frustrated with the fact that she either doesn't listen to Vaggie or when she is going off for rails and backpedaling of what she intended to do, which could be why some people don't always respect her. But still, personally, I do feel bad when when she delivers some of the best speeches in the show, like when she really is calmed down and actually focusing on what she needs to say. She really shines through in terms of her personality and trying to be a leader. It's not that she's super horrible at it, but she still has a long way to go. And I hope I get to see more of that in season 3. But right now, one of the things to like about Charlie is that she tries to be there for others and tries to put their needs. It's just she's struggling to understand those needs properly, especially because, as Husk said, she likes to address other people's problems except her own. And her inability to address her own personal chip in the shoulder could definitely impact of how she handles the hotel in the future. There are a lot of reasons to like about Emily. She is just so fun and bubbly and was the only angel willing to listen of Charlie's case and what makes the hotel so important. She wants nothing more than to give everyone a fair chance. Even if they are sinners or winners, she does not care. She wants to help everyone. And when she learns that redemption is possible, she wants nothing more than to make amends with hell. And when she learns of the extermination, you can't help but feel bad for her. I mean, true, some of her approaches are like Charlie's, naive at best, but at the same time, she does try to improve the situation. She takes things into account and thinks, okay, how do I make this better? She even went as far as trying to help the sinners when Vox was finally going on a dangerous rampage, lost a wing out of a deal, but she proved that heaven was willing to change for the better. And I can't wait to see more of her character later on.
And I destroyed it, I know.
I will not lie, I had a horrible time trying to figure out which of these two deserve a number 1 spot, but I felt like they both deserve it for various reasons and why they're so loved by the fans. In the case of Angel Dust, when you get past his jokes, he has a very interesting, vulnerable side to him. His struggles with not only his addiction, but also his relationship with Valentino and getting over his past with whatever happened on Earth. He has been through so much and is now punishing himself 6 ways to Sunday because he doesn't know how to deal with himself or the guilt that he has. And it was heartbreaking when the tail end of season 2, when he has to go back to Valentino to endure God knows what. To make matters worse, we also learn of how loyal he is and that he never rented out the hotel willingly. So it even makes the situation more heartbreaking. He's loyal to his friends and will break his neck or bones just to protect them. Even though he knows Charlie is the Princess of Hell, he felt like in some ways she may not be able to handle Valentino on her own. Which is why he felt like deserved a number one spot, because his struggles on occasion do feel real and you feel bad for his more sadder moments when he cries, especially thanks to the works of Blake Roman. And then, of course, with Serpentius, there are a good amount of reasons why fans love him. Not only is he funny at times, his humor definitely gets on point, but at the same time, when you sympathize with him, it pays off. Not only does he have a very solid backstory that basically earned him a place in hell, but his redemption arc is a bit endearing to watch. Seeing him go from this shy hermit who wants nothing to do with conflict into a guy who would go hell and back to save his friends. And of course, went as far as doing the impossible, making friends with Sarah and helping her get through an emotional crisis. He's empathetic and has really a good understanding about people's emotions and human fear in general. He's lived through that, and because of that understanding, it's what made him such a great character in just 2 seasons alone. Not only that, but he was so well loved that even though he was supposed to be a one off villain in the pilot, it escalated into practically one of the most iconic characters in this show. So, in a lot of ways, these two boys do deserve a lot of love and praise from its fans. So, what do you guys think? Are there any Hazbin Hotel characters do you feel like deserve more love than what I presented on this list? Do a like and subscribe. This is Dragon Videos signing off.